Hello there. I am going to be recording another part of this fic, and if I have time after this one, I might run through my notebook, see what fic I'm allowed, try to remember which fics I'm allowed to podfic, and see if I have any one-shot ones. If not, I'm going to try and go back and through stuff like that. I might, if I have time after this one, I might see if I can find a one shot fic that I haven't done. If not, I will try and post another chapter fic. One I have been wanting to try and get out because I kind of want to read this one. I'm I really want to. I have listened to the podfic version of this one, of a certain one, not this one. I have tried to listen to this one, but they never finished it. That's why I want to finish this one so bad. But the other one I want to do is a long chapter fic, and it is still ongoing. So after this one, if I have time, I might actually just do that one because I have this one and another one, like long chapter, like I have 3 long chapter fics, one ongoing and one that is done that I still want to do too. And I asked the people, hey, could I podfix this? But yeah. Anyways, this is Tina Bar by Tia Blackcharn, Chapter 9, The Fighting Duo. Summary. Kaminari and Uraraka, rightfully so, do not follow All Might's directions. Warning. The descriptions of flashbacks of shitty parenting. Inko. Izuku couldn't think straight with all the explosions Bakugo was creating, much less coming up with an effective counterattack when he couldn't breathe. His mind was muddled, and Bakugo's hero costume kept turning into the black garnan. Garkin? I cannot pronounce this. Like it's a thing that he wore in middle school. That whole little outfit thing. I cannot pronounce that word. For middle school. Funnily enough, the look in Bakugo's eyes was the same. It left Izuku wanting not to move an inch and flee at the same time. For more than a few times during the fight, he forgot that he had won for all. There for a moment he was so caught up in Bakugo wearing the black uniform that he didn't use his quirk to move. Izuku just wanted the explosions to stop. He wanted to stop tasting blood. He wanted to be able to breathe, but Bakugo wouldn't let him. At some point, Izuku couldn't care less when as long as the explosions stopped. Bakugo grabbed him and held him up. Izuku's head sagged forward. He couldn't bring himself to look up at those damn red eyes. He'll do anything not to look at look at the hate in those eyes. The fuck, the fuck, the the fuck, Deku. Are you looking down on me, you piece of shit? He had no energy left to even address the absolute bullshit coming out of out of Bakugo's mouth. He was putting all that energy into trying to breathe. Why was it so hard to just fucking breathe? His ears were ringing, and he swore he could he but he had sworn that someone yelled at Bakugo. He wondered who. When he wondered who, his question was answered when he felt a slight tingle from the pair of hands. Kaminari. Fuck, Midoriya, are you okay? Wait, that's a dumb question. You're clearly not. Don't worry, I got you. It was at those few words Izuku stopped trying to hold himself up. He let himself sag into Kaminari's hold. He wanted to laugh when he heard a small oof that came out of the boy instead he coughed. A few moments later he found himself feeling weightless and carried in Kaminari's arms. And Zuko let himself close his eyes as he knew that Uraraka and Kaminari were there. They wouldn't let anything bad happen to him like this. They were strong, they were kind. I'm going to electrocute Bakugo until he passes out next time I see him. Kaminari hissed, tightening his grip on Midoriya. I'll gladly help right after I break his nose, Uraraka said, cracking her knuckles as she walked beside the villain. Sorry, I'm breathing the air too quickly and it's tickling my throat. Oh, God. That should be better. Okay. Uraraka said, cracking her knuckles as she walked beside the blonde. Kaminari nodded. And then you help me with all my... Absolutely. Kaminari and Uraraka wasted no time. Wasted... Oh my god. I said no time. That's not even the word that's there. Kaminari and Uraraka wasted no... Patrice? Going to Recovery Girl. The woman barely had enough time to yell at them for kicking the door open before Uraraka told her what happened and why Midoriya was there. So he overdid it again. Didn't he? I thought I told Midoriya. Uraraka clenched her fists together as she spoke. Someone texted. No. Stupid. Midoriya didn't do anything. This was all Bakugo with his quirk. Midoriya was already not well, but All Might made him fight, and Bakugo went crazy. Now Midoriya's hurt and isn't because of any broken bones. Ooh, that got loud. Recovery Girl simply frowned and sucked on her teeth. She directed Kaminari to lay down on Midoriya on the beds in the corner. When Uraraka deactivated her quirk, Kaminari was able to lay Izuku out on the bed. He made sure to sweep Midoriya's hair out of his face, trying to make him open his eyes. When Kaminari finally saw green eyes, he smiled. Hey Midoriya, you're gonna be fine, okay? You'll be healed up in no time. Uraraka is gonna stay with you while I get Aizawa Sensei. Kaminari Kaminari said this in a calm voice, while patting one of Midoriya's hands, letting him know that he was there because Midoriya seemed to be out of it. He watched as Green Eyes slowly looked at his face to where Uraraka was. He made sure that Uraraka had her hand on Midoriya's as he moved. I'm going to get Aizawa Sensei and come back as quick as I can. Do not leave Midoriya alone, alright? I got you, Kaminari. With that, Kaminari left, searching for the one teacher that was actually competent. Shoto was attempting to grade papers when he heard commotion at the door of the teacher's lounge. He got up from the couch and walked over to see Cementos talking to what looks like a very pissed off Kaminari. I don't know how would I say Udents are, ranked are allowed. Wait, aren't allowed in here. Now, if this is important as you can add isn't important, he's in the infirmary, so I need to get I is always say right now, or I swear to God, Kaminari. I, Shota said, and he was pleased to see the instant grown the instant to see that instantly Kaminari golden eyes met his. What is this? Who's in the infirmary and why do you need me? Cementos moved to let Shota take his place at the entrance of the lounge in front of Kaminari. The boy, the look on the boy's face was unlike what he had ever seen before. Usually there was a sly smile and the eyes that never stayed in one spot for too long. But that's not but that was not the student he had in front of him right now. No, now Kaminari's were staring right at his with no sense of nauseous, nervousness or fear. Midoriya's in um, recovery girl's office, and it is not his fault. I can tell you on the way or in the office where Uraraka can back me up, but we have to go now, Sensei. Kaminari said, with no fanfare, no dancing around the topic. This was straight to the point, blunt. Shota listened. Shota listened. He wasted no time in asking more questions. And started walking to the infirmary. Kaminari was at his side, silent, as he hasn't asked for the boy to explain. Shota wanted to hear what both Kaminari and Uraraka had to say. He also liked to hear what Midoriya had to say as well, so he couldn't wait until he waited. So he'll wait until he was in the infirmary. For now, he moved. Oh, it's hot in here. It's hot in my room. I really want to turn my heat down, but I don't know what I do. It's gonna get so cold in here. When they arrived at the infirmary, Shota had not been expecting his other student, Uraraka, to be looking at. Recovery Girl with fury in her eyes. I'm not leaving until Aizawa Sensei gets here. The Recovery Girl tapped her cane against what in obvious in an obvious. Oh my God, hang on, I'm gonna restart. The Recovery Girl tapped her cane against what an obvious sign of annoyance and frustration. Now, I can't have you around my patient, and I still need to get all might. This is his fault that Midoriya's in here in the first place. Before the argument could go any further, Shota made his presence known to the youthful heroine. Recovery Girl, has Midoriya been healed yet? What are his injuries? He noted He noted that how Recovery Girl didn't seem pleased to see him, but she answered anyways. He has some bruises, minor concussion, and he bit the inside of his cheek, mild burns, and smoke. Um, and smoke in um in. Oh my God, how do you pronounce this word? Inhalation. Inma- I'm pretty sure breathing in smoke, like too much smoke. The smoke inhalation had been taken care of, and so has the burns. He didn't seem to have quite enough energy to completely get rid of the bruises, so he'll be tender for a day. Um, and so will the inside of his cheek. He he had he had worse concussion, so he should be fine overall. Thank you. Now, I'd like to speak to Kaminari and Uraraka privately. We'll say here, though, with Midoriya. Recovery Girl scowled at the last part, but when Shota said nothing else, she huffed and walked away. Once she was gone, Shota turned towards his two students, who quickly led him towards Midoriya. When Midoriya, um, when Midoriya came into sight, Shota held back from hissing. The boy looked like he stood right in front of various explosions. The name Bakugo instantly came to mind. He looked at Kaminari and Uraraka, who had taken each other, taking, who had each taken a position on either side of the bed as if guarding Midoriya. Both of you explain. And they explained. And explained they did. Uraraka explained how, in lunch, Midoriya didn't eat and left the cafeteria. Kaminari explained how Midoriya looked sick while the boys were getting dressed, and how Midoriya spent most of the time in All Might's class leaning against Shoji and Tokiyami. They explained how the problem child looked pale, unsteady on his legs, and had trouble breathing. When then they told um then they told they told him how All Might called Midoriya up for his match with Bakugo. Of course it was Bakugo. The image of the two students painted as they described how Midoriya walked up to the ring wasn't a pleasant one. He had a moment of pride when he heard one of his students spoke up in concern, until it was crushed away by fury when he heard All Might had dismissed his class's worries about Midoriya. Kaminari started giving off sparks as he told Shota that um, the hero was forced to use his quirk to avoid an accident. He didn't comment on it though. He his students had a right to be angry, and was clear that they were held in the pressure while he was pressure. Where did pressure come? Okay. Um, he didn't comment though. His students had every right to be angry, and and it was clear that they were holding it in while in his presence. About what happened in All Might's class, should have never happened. Midoriya should have been excluded and sent to Recover Girl for showing signs of obvious not being okay. Um, his students show, should not have watched their classmates be pitted against Bakugo, a boy who didn't know the meaning of restraint and held practically amount of anger towards the green-haired boy. They should have not had witnessed such a thing, especially since the number one hero was right there to stop it. And then he had the audacity to say a last-minute comment about me taking Midoriya to Recover Girl and bringing him back to give, so he can give Midoriya criticism on his match. It was at hearing this that Shota lost his grip on his restraint. He said, "What?" It was impressive how neither Kaminari nor Uraraka cowered under what he knew was a terrifying gaze. They were silent as Shota took out his phone to see exactly where All Might was. He started walking away. Both Uraraka and Kaminari followed. When Shota opened the door leading leading to the hallway, it was surprised. It was a. It was to surprise. Oh, it was a. It was a to surprise a midnight. The woman barely had time to reply when Shota told her to go and watch over Midoriya, not letting him leave. After telling the rated R hero that Shota was on the move again, two students close behind. In less than a few minutes, where were Shota, Kaminari, and Uraraka walking into Class 1A, they interrupted whatever Jaguar All Might was saying with a serious face and eyes. Um, with serious face and eyes that made the other students in the class flinch. Uraraka, Kaminari, where's young Midoriya? I thought I told you to bring him. All Might, you better explain what you were thinking behind your class today, Shota said, interrupting the man and drawing his attention. In the corner of his eyes, as All Might floundered in confusion. Um, Shota saw Uraraka walk up to Bakugo's desk. Then, after Bakugo said something, he watched as Uraraka Ochako, one of the nicest students in this class, punched Bakugo Katsuki right in the nose before Bakugo had the chance to respond. Um, Kaminari Denki started electrocuting Bakugo, although the boy didn't get to do that for as long as he wanted, as Um, Shota shot out a capture weapon and using the quirk on him. The class went up into an uproar that he silenced with a flash of his quirk. Funny enough, uh, the calmest of everyone other than himself was Kaminari and Uraraka. They seemed proud of themselves despite being wrapped in his capture weapon. I'll be taking Uraraka and um and Kaminari with me. All Might, I believe Nesu wishes to speak to you, and President Mike should be here in a moment for the next class. Shota, Shota said before walking out of the class, dragging the fighting duo, as he now dubbed Uraraka and Kaminari, out. He noticed the glares the two sent to All Might as they were pulled away. Once the door of the classroom behind him closed, he released the capture weapon and started walking ahead. A moment later, they were walking behind him. Ta- Uraka, good form and execution. Kaminari, nice control with electric output. It was all Shota, um, Shota said as the three of them made made their way back to the infirmary. Anyone who saw three people walking briskly in the hallway with similar smiles on their face moved to the side in a hurry. Izuku found um, himself yet again in the smoke expansion. This time, he seemed to um, he seemed to be a little closer to Eight Lights. He didn't know why he was there. Just a moment ago, he swore he had been looking at Kaminari, who was telling him he would get healed, and Uraka was there too. He didn't know how much he needed for someone to tell him that he was going to be okay, until Kaminari did, and even held his hand. He hadn't been as panicked when he closed his eyes. Now that he was in the smoke expansion again he heard voices, but they were much clearer than last time, and they sounded angry as well. He's an idiot. How could he just... Poor Knight. I feel his panic um from all the way here. He say he was safer with the League, for God's sake. The two are the two that are with him are good, aren't they? Did you hear what they said? Um, did you hear what they said? They said they were going to electrocute. Izuku, can you hear me? Izuku turned to his side. Right there was a woman. She looked like the woman who he had seen last time. Her face was familiar. She smiled at him. She tried to tell her that he could hear her, but voice no voice came out. He tried to wipe he tried to bring up a hand to wipe the smoke, but nothing happened. Mm, He frowned in frustration, and the woman must have seen that as she smiled sadly at him. Soon, as he heard the words before, as he felt the same tugging sensation as he did before. When he opened his eyes, when he opened his eyes, it was the familiar ceiling of the infirmary. He looked down and saw three people sitting by his bed. Kaminari, Uraraka, Kaminari, Aizawa Sensei. They were waiting for him in the infirmary. They stayed with him. Why did they do that? But then, but then Izuki remembered how they were. He remembered the comforting words from Kaminari in the weightlessness from Uraraka, and the odd sense of safety Aizawa Sensei made him. Aizawa Sensei always made him feel. They were kind to him. They were strong. They they seemed happy to see him open his eyes. It was different. It was so different from the indifference and annoyance in his mom's eyes when she looked at him in the morning as if she didn't care if he woke up that day. Their looks didn't make him feel like he shouldn't have woke up. Didn't make him feel like he should he was being pushed down. They their looks were nothing like that. Instead, they were made they made they they made him feel warm inside and much nicer feeling compared to the weight that was always there. He heard and both Kaminari and Uraraka worrying over him, even mentioning punching Bakugo. He wanted to laugh, except he couldn't. He knew he would probably end up coughing if he laughed, so he did something different. Instead, he smiled. This time, it wasn't fake. Oof. Oh, that's adorable. Ugh. I just love that little team up of Uraraka and Kaminari. Like, absolutely just saying, we ain't letting this happen. Um, like, they were giving off protective sibling vibes. Like, protective older sibling. That's what they were giving off. And then it's like, I just, oh, and I don't know what was up, with, Recover Girl's attitude, but she needs to chill out. She's the healer. She don't need to be given that. Mm-mm. Yeah, you're supposed to be helping the patient. But when, like, oh, I have read too many fics of her not being so nice. So, like, my opinions of her, like, Recover Girl, sometimes, in some fics, she can be nice. Some, primarily. But other ones, she's just so mean. Like, she's like, I don't want to take care of this child. It's your literal job. You're denying us. Like, you're denying medical treatment. You're not allowed to do that. I need to calm down. Okay. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this fic. I know I did. I certainly did. Especially with the duo. The fighting duo. Um, as I was called him. Oh yeah, he has in this chapter. I'm starting to sense that Dad Sawa in this. You know, when you start saying, "Oh, he's turning to a dad," But you know. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this fic. I know I did, but I will see y'all next time. Bye.